Z-A-Z-H.
Zaz.
One R B R.
VR or BR?
One R B as in boy.
BR.
R.
Okay. And off we go. It's not a competition.
That's real
right?
bad.
Yeah.
That is a terrible start.
Not a great start.
Okay, has anyone been hit yet? Let's crowdsource our HP.
Not yet. I haven't been in a room with enemies yet. What the fuck? Oh, daddy.
Breath of life properly. I was hit. I did not die.
Okay, that's great news. Shucko the
Why
party
won't-
clown. Thanks for the resub.
Why wouldn't it stop shooting? That's gotta be a...
Mine stops.
Did you have Eden's blessing and then get marked or something?
No, I'm probably my controller's just being silly. I'm plugging and replugging.
That makes
Oh,
sense
if you
as
went
well.
up, there's a tinted rock, which, oh, well, it's not going to help you because it's a golden chest. and I have no
Okay,
keys.
look, I know that we said we were going to crowdsource things here,
Oh,
but everybody dies alone, so we're no spoilers, please. Wizard Island and Pascadox, thank you guys as well. I'm excited for the show, but for the first time in forever, I feel like I have nothing to talk about. Nothing that has triggered my either social anxiety or social indignation has happened in the past 3 days. And it's a very foreign feeling for me.
So then the next thing is we go to social norms, and you go, so, like, what's a weird first name? Clive.
A weird
Nick.
first name.
Okay. You know what I don't like is name polymorphism. And Nick, you can understand this. Why do you get two names? Like you're Nick, but were you named Nicholas at birth?
Yeah.
That's not fair. You
Why?
can't have two names. You're Nicholas. You can't be Nick.
I don't like
I
names
was
that
right,
could
by
be
the
for
way.
a boy
I
or a
nailed
girl.
This topic. It's exactly what you needed to feel righteous indignation about something.
It's such bullshit. That's like Rob is like. How many names does Rob have? Is Rob, Robert,
Bob,
and
Robert.
Bobby,
Rob,
and thus
Richard,
Bob?
Robert.
He's
Yeah.
got so many names. How
I
is that
hate
fair?
I hate the name
You
Bob.
hate Rob?
No, I just hate the name Bob. I don't know why. It's so simple, yet it's got all
If
this
you
like
name
stigma.
your
uncle
kids Bob in this day and age, like I'm not gonna go ahead and say that that's child abuse, but it's like have some imagination, right? Like,
Nobody names their kid Bob. They name them Robert.
well, you think so? Do you think there's ever been like
Have
a
you ever
Bob
seen
birth
a baby
certificate?
and they're like, that's Bob.
Bob the baby?
Bob the baby. You
It's
never
possible.
see it, the builder.
Bob the baby. Then my
I'm just
kid,
saying,
Dora.
like, it strikes me as unfair that 80% of the
Downfall for
population,
6 months in a row.
when
You
they're
are awesome,
born,
thank
they're
you.
like, hey,
What's up,
this is your
Ethan?
name. Don't like it? Whatever. Get it legally changed later. But then a very privileged subset of babies, 20% is just a rough guess, Mike's, Nick's, Robert's, etc., and you know, Cobalt, I'm lumping you in here as well. But
I hate Mike.
They've got too many options. Hey, you don't like your name? Well, there's 4 other ones that we invented for no reason. Also, why does Michael need a shorthand? It's
I
2
hate
syllables.
it too. It makes me feel like a redneck or something. Like, and when
Oh,
people
I
call
never
me
thought
Mike,
about it like that.
I don't know what it is. I just can't stand when people call me Mike.
I don't
Good
understand
to know.
I want
why
Michael.
Michael, it doesn't need a short form.
No,
It's
2 syllables.
It's 2 syllables. Ryan's 2 syllables. I guess
'cause
be careful what you wish for. I don't want a short form. I'm content with where I'm at.
Yeah, Rye.
Don't even start this,
Don't
man.
most names have a short form? Like, far more do than don't?
I thought you were naming a first name when you said far more, and I was like, I'm not ready for that shit this early on a day.
No, I already said Clive is my weird first name. I'm not going to say far more.
Is Clive short for something? Is that short for
Don't you
Clifford?
start with
maybe?
that shit,
no, it's
chat.
Cliff, right? Or is there more? I don't know. We
All right,
live
I'm
in a
going to
world
look up the etymology of the word Clive.
The etymology of Clive. It's my favorite Common album.
Chad is
But,
now calling me
etymology.
Mike over and over again. It's great.
You've done it now. Go back to CBS. CBS meta.
From Middle English Cliven. From Old English
Cliven!
Clifton.
Clive.
From Cliff!
Romantic. I can't read that.
Yeah,
Those
you
are
go too far
characters I
back.
don't even know what they are. Proto-Indo-European gliad.
Wait,
Now,
wait.
the only reason I can see having a short name for something if it's like in a foreign language and you don't know how to pronounce it, like if it was Makalanda Lolakalali, And you were like, all right, Mike, chill.
You know what gleb means?
What?
To lubricate or stick.
What?
Clive, it's short for lubrication.
Clive? You know, that actually feels better than a first name. You know, a first name of Clive? Instead, I'd be like, hey, can you come over here? I need you to Clive my drivetrain. Like, that sounds correct. If you said, hey, Clive, great work on your essay, that doesn't sound right.
You gotta Clive before you crunch. You better Clive up before I stick these 3 condoms in you.
Okay.
What? Oh.
No. That's another talk entirely. I'm just going to say quick thanks to Morgan the Nail for the 3 months. My thank you to Nick for being on the NLSS for 10 months. Anti-O's for 13 months. Proto Saber 363 for 10 months. Chucko the Party Clown for 8 months. And I Own Bots for 3 months. And also Tevo _ for 21. Everybody did that in the beginning. And it just,
that is so crazy. You had a bunch of resubs today. I've had one, I think, resub today. So, sweet.
I'm going to leave the Clives up for later in case we need more.
Rock Clives. I mean, names in general, they should just, like, every person should just have an ID number until they're, like, 15. And then at 15, you can choose a name.
I mean, we have a social security number. It's kind of like an ID number.
You really should not use that
Thank
as
you
your
for
identifying
subbing again,
feature
man.
publicly.
No, you really shouldn't. I'm not saying you should.
Ugh, it's good to see you,
But I'm thinking,
dude.
you know, until you're
Love it, bro.
until you're 15, or until you choose a name, you could choose later, perhaps, if you want to.
We can always
you're
choose
just,
later.
You're just known by your ID. You know, you're like a hospital's unique identifying code, and then your time of birth is your code. And then when you get to be 15, you're like, I want to be Demetrius, and you're like, okay, you know, that's you.
You
but
guys
you
heard
think
about bacon, right?
Have I heard about bacon?
Bacon
Oh,
donut.
yeah, I eat all the time.
He has to change his name legally to Bacon _ Donut.
Why?
Oh,
That's a
okay.
charity incentive that he reached a while ago.
This is too far.
So he's going to be changing his name to Bacon Donut.
That's pretty reasonable, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Pajigallo, thank you very much for the subscription.
I don't really believe that it's very
Right.
reasonable. at all.
I mean, you're gonna find this hard to believe. I mean this with no disrespect. You know, he has subscribed and we've talked a little bit. He's seen the show. This is coming from a place of love. You're gonna file your taxes as Bacon Donut, first name Bacon, last name Donut. If you realize how much pressure you put on yourself if you do that. Like, what if you get sent to jail? It's going to be the most reported on news story of the year. Like, if you ever get pulled over for a speeding ticket, they're going to be like, you know, Washington man with interesting name, click, 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 click. You know, it's going to get like 800 trillion views.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the point.
I guess so, but I just feel like you've got to, if you got to run for president, you're already like a novelty candidate with the name of Bacon Donut. Like, why don't, it's fantastic that it's raised a lot of money for charity, and honestly, you're in too deep to back out at this point, I imagine.
I don't think. I don't think he maybe thought he was gonna raise that much, or maybe he did. I don't know. I don't know. I
If
could
you're
ask
gonna
him.
set a goal like that, you've got to expect to have to do it,
What if
right?
you have a child? Like, does your child automatically get the last name of Donut?
Little donut.
Bacon Donut has been arrested
Bacon
in the grocery
Jr.
store today.
You sound like a Wendy's menu.
The Bacon Donut?
Bacon Jr.
I mean, like, I feel
Don't
like this
fry.
has to be something you were already aware of when it started. Is that, you know, like, it's a silly name, and that's why it was an incentive, right? Like, it's not like we're telling you
Yeah.
something you don't know there.
Is
But,
there like a cooldown for changing your name back?
yes,
You know, like
your
you can't
ulti.
change your name for 5 years after applying for this.
What if, like, if you'd had to, like, call in to make a reservation at a restaurant or, like, to book a flight or something like that,
Mr. Donut?
you're gonna have to go a long way to make them think you're not prank calling them. Because they're gonna like be like, yeah, okay, sure, Mr. Donut, all right, yeah, we got you a first class seat booked for sure, no
You
problem.
can just use your former name if you want. I don't think they'll care.
Oh, wait, it doesn't
Even
match your
Mr.
name on your
Donut.
passport, which now says Bacon
they-
Donut.
But
They
your
check
card
your
has to match
passport?
your name.
When you
Right.
when you reserve a seat at a restaurant, they don't check your.
Okay, at a restaurant.
Is he gonna have to get a new ID and new credit cards with Bacon Donut on them?
I
The
think
whole
you got it, man.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh my god. Well, they let him have the underscores, the real question now.
I'm not sure underscore is registered as a character that actually shows up.
Yeah, that might be one of those banned characters where, like, if you give your child that character in a name, they come and arrest you. Weege, thank you very much for the resub. Again, don't take this as a roasting or anything like that. It's a fantastic incentive, but I hope you've considered what it could do to your life. Hopefully, we're wrong though, and it ends up being just awesome.
All the time.
Every second of every day.
This run's not that bad.
Wait, is his middle name going to be underscore, or is it going to be underscore?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they're going to spell it out or just try to go for the underscore or what. Maybe he's just changing his first name to Bacon Donut, and maybe he's keeping his last name? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think he's changing the whole thing.
Bacon Donut, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife. I mean, more money than I've ever raised for charity. You got to respect somebody for putting themselves on the line like that.
Yeah. He also ate multiple ghost peppers, like 3 or 4.
That is fucking crazy. That's almost as crazy.
Eat multiple ghosts.
I did 1, and I was like, sorry guys, that's all you get out of me. I'm not. There's no second chance here.
I can eat a lot of ghosts.
I love the idea of him sucking back ghosts.
Yeah, me too.
Like just the souls of the dead.
The souls of the dead, just sucking them down.
I'm gonna grind these souls up and snort them this time. Wait, what?
I think they'd be better to slurp than to snort. They'd probably hurt your sinuses.
Probably.
I'd be down for either.
A little bit of nose bleeding. Probably more mucus than nose bleeding. The ectoplasm
probably.
and whatnot.
They're very slimy beings, yeah.
Oh, please, spiders, don't touch me.
There's just something.
All these tips. Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna read these out when we get a minute.
There's something about like living in a world. Like the world is built itself. It's Dark Souls itself. A world where a person lives their whole life and then they die and they're unfulfilled, so they haunt someone. And they, the way to actually get them out of purgatory and into the afterlife is to fulfill that which they've always wanted, right? Hey, find my murderer or blah, blah, blah. But instead, we just eat them.
Right.
The souls of the unfulfilled, we're like, yeah, I mean, we could, find your murderer, but instead, how about I just fucking eat you? How about that? No more ghosts. Problem solved.
There was a movie, from the late 90s.
Ghostbusters.
No, that's not the one. Damn, it had a really weird cover, and there was
The Frighteners.
Yeah, that's it.
Michael
The
J.
Frighteners.
Fox.
It was
Yeah.
The Frighteners.
Directed by Peter Jackson.
Thank you, Heartless
Michael
320
J.
for
would
20
not have
months
let
and a
me
motherfucking
survive
wow,
if I
thank
hadn't
you.
gotten that.
How did you do that so fast?
The cover, you said the cover's weird. The cover's got a dude's face is being pressed into a wall or something like that from the other side.
I've seen that cover before, yeah.
One of 96's greatest films.
No, wasn't the premise of that there was somebody eating the dead people?
I have never seen it, actually.
Oh.
If you ate a ghost, wouldn't that make it easier for them to possess you?
I don't know.
No, it's a different, because you digest them. When you possess or get possessed, they go into your brainstem.
Oh,
that's true.
okay.
Yeah.
So the stomach acid will eat the ghost. I think that's how it
So I
works.
just need to farm stomach acid for ghost protection then.
Yeah, no, they can't get through stomach acid for some
Yeah.
reason.
Ghosts-
Everything else, they're fine.
It's like lead for
I thought it was
Superman.
common knowledge.
It is now.
Superman can't get through lead?
He can't. Well, his X-ray vision doesn't go through lead.
Not even lead kryptonite, just
He just
regular
doesn't
ass.
want to. If the situation requires it, he'll figure it out.
Why doesn't he just use heat vision to make the
He should
lead
just melt it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make the lead permeable enough that his X-rays can penetrate it.
Lead's a malleable metal. Superman have no problem with it.
He used to write with it. That's how malleable that shit is.
For some reason,
He can
lead.
deal with non-malleable metals.
I saw him pick up a fucking asteroid.
Yeah,
up,
and
gangs,
bend
for the
steel
win?
girders.
23
Those are
months in a
designed
row.
for their
Welcome
strength.
back.
Not lead girders though.
Not lead girders, but
Well,
those should be easier, right?
I guess it's an X-ray thing. He should really get gamma ray vision. That would be way more useful.
Do you think
Welcome.
Superman can eat ghosts?
Yeah, definitely.
Probably. He can probably
probably
has.
probably flosses with ghosts.
Yeah.
He gets as many powers as he needs, because you've
Thank
seen
you,
that
the
one
brand
time he
new-
pulled off
so
the
much
S
for
on
the
his
brand
chest and
new
used it to
sub. That
capture
is
someone from another
huge. Thank you
dimension.
for taking the lead.
Hold up though, for real.
Hope you enjoy
Does
being a
Superman have to
subscriber
go to
here to the
dentist?
channel. Thanks for supporting us.
I
No.
gotta shout out subs and resubs soon. But first off, Yosepi, thanks for the resub there.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have to go to the dentist. Superman
No.
doesn't have to go to the dentist.
Mere Earth bacteria cannot harm his teeth.
Yeah.
That's like the opposite of the way that it normally works. Normally, you go to like a new place and you have no bacteria, or like you have no resistance. Superman came to Earth and he's like, oh, surprise, I've already built up immunity to all these germs.
That's just the sun just makes him like super.
I don't buy it.
amazing.
He doesn't need immunity. He just has immunity.
Whoa, that's deep.
Thank you for the 269, Quizit. You saw my brother Jack Black live last Friday. Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool. Is he doing a reenactment of King Kong?
Oh, please. It's like his worst film.
Best 360 game ever.
Okay, it's not his
Saving
worst
Silverman.
film. He's been in some bad ones, but
Saving Silverman is his worst film.
I like that one. It's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, I like it too, actually.
Here we go.
It's
Here we go.
that's a good one. Neil Diamond.
I know this is Neil Diamond. This is the central plot of the film.
I have to stop reinforcing that every film that I like is terrible.
Nick, did you see Room yet?
No, but I plan to. I heard it was very good.
Yo,
for me.
Room is dynamite, man. 10 out of 10.
I want to
I
see
watched
it too.
Deadpool again with my girlfriend, and she loved it, and it was such a good movie. I'm glad I watched it again.
Cobalt, have you seen
Alright.
Deadpool?
I own it on Amazon. Yay. Oh
Nice.
my god, this Curse of the Lost has put me in the same starting room 4 times. Thank you.
I think the secret to making good Marvel movies is making them funny. It's the way that makes them so much more entertaining.
Yeah, they couldn't
Look.
get away with that before, though, you know, because all the
Don't-
serious fanboys and
Don't
whatnot.
write checks your butt can't cash, mister.
Well,
Captain
that's why I
America's
like Iron Man.
Captain America Civil War is a classic film.
It's classic.
You don't have to say it's classic.
It's already classic.
I know you like it. It's fine.
It's a good
Yeah,
film.
we've found a movie that all three of us agree on, and it's Deadpool.
Deadpool, really
It's
good.
an enjoyable movie.
And if it was not rated R, I don't think they could have made it nearly as enjoyable.
You
Oh,
would
hell
lose all
no.
the jokes about, like, you know, the baby's arm, and like there's moments in there that are just
The
Oh,
baby's
yeah.
arm that he tucks into the top of his pants so he can party with girls on the beach.
no, not that guy. Deadpool for real is straight shit tier. Look,
Really?
Wow!
I can understand not liking it, but I really
I'm
can't
curious.
envision like liking Thor more than it.
That's the only person that I've seen that's given negative feedback on the movie, honestly. You're in the
Well, then
minority,
you're right.
sir. I just want to let you know.
It's fine to be in the minority. I'm there all the time.
Everybody's got, has their own opinion and is allowed to have their own opinion, but your opinion's shit, and that's my opinion. So,
Cobalt, have you ever seen Heat, the 1995 film starring
no.
Robert De Niro and Al
Why
Pacino?
did you have to?
I don't think so. I've heard you mention this one before, though.
That seems
It's only
unlikely.
movie talks about.
It's a great film.
Unlikely.
It's a rite of passage as a man to watch and enjoy Heat.
I have to enjoy it.
Well, you don't have to, but that's like saying, do you enjoy Oxygen? Like, you just will.
I think you're saying I've got no balls.
I have to check that out
Maybe
tonight.
I didn't say it. Perhaps I implied it strongly with my choice of verbiage.
You're gonna taste them soon.
I would trade in all of my shitty impressions for a good Al Pacino impression. In a heartbeat.
Even Stallone?
Yeah.
I want to have a Robert De Niro party where everybody dresses up like a version of Robert De Niro from a film.
just like in that. Neighbors.
Neighbors. That was awesome.
I enjoyed that film as well.
That was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, because I didn't have much faith in Zac Efron or whatever, but he actually
yeah.
did a pretty good job. It
Can
was
we talk
pretty
about
funny.
how Zac Efron sounds like a fucking space alien?
It does, or like some kind of like scented mist for your house or something?
Yeah. Oh, what? Your soap smells wonderful. What is it? Oh, it's
Efron.
Zac Efron.
Well, there's ferns. Yeah, it does sort of sound like an herb, doesn't it?
I think
Yeah,
so.
very herby.
Zac Efron. Pretty good.
Thank you, Zandam and Solo No Fathoms for the 6 and 8 months, respectively. Glad to have you back.
Don't sweat it, fam. We're gonna do boss rush. It is lit.
Don't lit your fam.
I will never watch Heat for the same reason NL will never play Undertale. It's too hyped. Nah, dog. You don't understand. It's hyped.
Why would that be a reason? That's like being a hipster.
Well, I'm not gonna throw myself under the bus here. You know, I do have some self-awareness about it, but I don't think Heat's that overhyped. I think it's a criminally underappreciated gem from an era of filmmaking a lot of people are unfamiliar with.
Heat. Maybe I have seen this movie. I don't know.
Oh, it's pretty memorable.
The only reason it's so good is because I didn't think it was amazing. That's kind of the whole story.
No, it's historically considered one of the top films of the 90s, if not all time.
But if I had never brought it up, we would never be talking about it this much.
Agree to
Yeah?
disagree.
No, I really believe that's true. I really believe it.
You're being a real Tom Sizemore right now. Tom Sizemore was in Heat.
I've got more size than you. Whoa!
Whoa. Was that a woe to the game or a woe to the roasting? I think it was a woe to the roasting. Or maybe you're just singing Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer, which I got a lot of respect for, I gotta say. Sometimes I catch flack on Twitter. A lot of people on Twitter were like, thank you for making it okay to not like Bon Jovi. So, you know, that's what I'm here for.
But I'm a cowboy and a steel horse I ride.
Don't do it, Cobalt.
I'm wanted dead or alive.
It's not high noon.
It's not. I was trying to do some high noons the other day as McCree, and it was a little more challenging than I thought to get the ult off.
The problem is people now are like, they're used to high noon.
Yeah.
Like before, it's like, you can't play Torbjorn anymore because everybody's like, oh, there's where your turret is.
Oh, I don't know.
I think you had to be McCree or Torbjorn in like the first week or so.
The thing with the thing with the turret is you can't just try to keep forcing the turret in the same spot. You have to farm a kill and then move it before they can see you, and then have a level 2 up somewhere else. You can catch a lot of people off guard that way.
What about Symmetra? Doesn't it fall into the same category?
No, because
yeah,
people
I
just
guess.
ignore the Symmetra turrets. They they run into a room and they get hit by a turret and they're like, well, guess I'm just dead. Like, don't even bother looking for where these
Thank
might
you for the 169.
I've done that.
M. Shelley. It's all blanked out though.
That's pretty annoying though. R.I.P. Boss Rush.
I don't know what word she said.
I did the Forget Me Now though, so it's understandable. Are you guys just like balling out of control on this run?
Guppy's head, so I'm happy
fighting
with
Krampus.
Okay, I've recently fought Krampus as well.
I'm not balling. I mean, the sack dagger is probably the best thing I've got right now.
that. Yeah,
Did you guys get Chaos?
I did not take Chaos
I took it.
because I don't like breakfast.
Well, that's you know, personal prerogative, I guess. But I'm balling out of control with some fat ass Guppy action right now, and I'm loving it.
Damn. Chaos is good for Guppy.
Well, there's that breakfast.
Oh well, that's not the same thing.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Kazayo, thank you for 18 months of resubscription.
I haven't played Duck Game since the last time we played Duck Game, and I'm sure you guys have played since then, so I'm a little nervous.
I'm not sure, but it's possible we play once or twice. Yeah, I kind of
We
treat it
played
like
that
a board game. You know, it's like I just play it when we play it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Come here, you little fat bat. I hate you.
Talking about Fat Bat Tomofly.
It's not Doug Game. It's Duck Game.
But it is Dad by Daylight.
Quack, quack, quack. Ducks fly forever. Or whatever.
Actually, ducks fly together.
Together. Forever.
I mean,
Well,
Not at all.
maybe for like 1 or 2 movies, and then they're out.
yeah, that's true. Very few people have managed to stick with the Mighty Ducks franchise the whole way.
Yeah,
I can't even remember.
Charlie, I think.
Was Charlie Conway in the third one?
I believe.
Joshua Jackson, he must have been doing his own like Dawson's Creek shit by then, right?
I'm not sure. I know he was in the first 2 for certain.
Oh yeah, I mean Charlie Conway, man.
This in the third one, doesn't he like try to become like a coach or some shit? Like more of like a coach
Oh, maybe.
instead of playing in it.
Because the third one is the one where they go to like a boarding school and become like the junior
Thank you,
varsity
Shelley.
team for the high school. The second one is the one where they go to the Junior Olympics.
Yeah, it's the Olympics one.
Joshua Jackson is in the third movie.
There you go.
I have a hard time believing, by the way, that there's any way that Charlie Conway would make a Junior Olympic team. You know, the Mighty Ducks 1 is a great story about regional sports success. It's not about, like, you know, winning the state championship or something like that. And you're going to tell me that the kid who was, like, the third best player in his local league is going to make the national junior Olympic team for his age group? I don't think so, filmmakers.
But they're so good.
Adam Banks, maybe.
He keeps hurting himself, though.
Oh, right. He broke his arm or something.
Yeah. He's got those sports wounds. He, like, hurts himself, like, in every one, I feel like. Or has some kind of character flaw that he has to work through.
Well, they gotta do that so that Charlie Conway seems like a good player. Also,
sports wounds are his tackling fuel.
I have to point out that if you were a goalie and you keep getting beat by the triple deke, you're not cut out for this industry, man. You know what Charlie Conway is gonna do every time. He doesn't come down and do a double deke sometimes to throw you off. They're always like, oh shit, it's the triple deke. Better, like, not even try to stop it. Where could the puck possibly be coming from?
It's impossible to stop the triple deke.
It's not even like it's called the, you know, the Conway maneuver. If you've never seen a triple deke, as soon as you saw him coming, you would know what to expect just from the name. It's a gross misrepresentation of the complexities of the shooter-goalie relationship, I'll tell you that much.
Whoa, nice. All right, got me a little brimstone. Woo! What's up, Carnifex?
Yeah, we got like little brimstone, like a little regular brimstone,
Little
or
brim
a little
brim.
brimstone.
Little brim. A brim baby.
NL hasn't been this Canadian in weeks. Well, I did talk about bagged milk on Twitter today.
What brought that on?
I got. Someone must have talked about it. I'm gonna guess that it was Fox, and said that yeah, in Canada we use bagged milk. Every once in a while, like a YouTuber we know or an otherwise prominent YouTuber will talk about, oh, in Canada they use bagged milk. It's true. I can't deny it. In Canada, bagged
Not everybody
milk
though, right?
Exactly. On the BC coast here, we use. I had mistakenly said milk jars, which is not the correct verbiage. They're glass milk bottles. But that's what I meant when I said it. It's not like we got a peanut butter jar full of milk, and then, you know. I
smuggling the milk.
I don't understand bagged milk. I mean, people are like, you just cut the plastic bag and then put it in this special, like, peripheral that you bought just to hold milk pitchers or milk bags. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand why you'd want to do that.
Seems like a lot of work for making nature not do a lot of work by being wasteful, which, you know, is more power to you. I'm not, like, anti-nature or anything.
I just don't understand. People are like, well, you could buy, like, a gallon of milk, but then it's separated into quarter gallons so that not all of it is exposed to the air at the same time. Okay, why don't we apply that to, like, every thing that we buy in even slight bulk purchases? Why don't you buy a gallon of orange juice, but it's split into quarter gallons?
What's wrong with air?
Faster? I guess the thing is, like, what you can also just buy less milk and go to the grocery store more often. Is this like from antiquity where you'd go to the grocery store, you know, when the seaplane came in once every 9 years, and you'd be like, better buy enough milk to last me until, you know, the next harvest? Like, we live in a world of abundance now.
And make sure we put it in this airtight vault so that it doesn't go bad, so it lasts for a long time.
I think it's just, you know, they're propping up the antiquated milk pitcher industry.
Sounds like a cultural tradition to me.
Maybe, but I ain't
Captain
It
Chunk
could be the
Gaming,
other
welcome
thing,
back. 4 months, baby. I like Chunk. Or Sloth
Apparently you get-
and Chunk.
You get more milk for your buck in the bag situation. That might be true.
Yeah.
I actually do not know, but
I bet
Oh,
there's
wait.
an interesting story behind it, though. However it came to be.
the problem is, I think, you know, most things in BC are just more expensive to begin with, so we got to find a way to, like, isolate the carton variable there. Now, I was gonna say you have to factor in the cost of buying the milk pitcher, but let's be honest, you're just getting that from the Dollarama.
Wait, if you get bagged milk, you're saying there's no other option then?
Yeah, typically, like in an Ontario grocery store, you're just buying bags of milk.
Just
Really? I thought you guys had the option. That's what I was under the impression.
In BC, there are no bags of milk that I've ever seen in the grocery store, at least. But in Ontario, at least when I don't drink milk, but when I was growing up, my parents always 100% of the time bought bagged milk.
That's just so bizarre to me.
Is there a map of where the bags and where the jars are?
So let's call them bottles, okay? I don't want to continue exacerbating
well, you
the
call
issue.
them jars, so
well,
I
I
just
made
wanted
a
to make
mistake,
sure.
okay? And I've admitted
That's
that
fine.
mistake, and I
want to know the people behind this, like, whose idea was it to start doing that? Because clearly it came in jugs and jars and other forms before the
Mostly
bag.
jars,
So
yeah.
it was somebody's
Guys-
genius idea in Canada to do that. They were like, we're going to be
You need
different.
to know one thing about Canada, and you know this just from talking to me, is that sometimes we do things slightly different than America, and we're proud of it. You know, it's like a source of our national identity. So I actually probably feel that like maybe this developed independently in Canada, or maybe it came over from like, you know, it was all the craze in England in like the 19th century or something like that. And then somebody was like, hey, I just went down to America and they just use cartons. And we're like, nah, fuck that. We got bags. Problem solved. We don't need to worry about it anymore. We got bags. It's been sorted. We got other problems.
Well, maybe you're like way into the future and we're super behind the trend because just right now we're getting boxed water, which apparently is better. Is what I've heard.
You know, really want to talk about boxed water, Nick? Is there something we don't know here?
I want to know why we needed to do this. Is it a PR thing? Is there a reason?
I always thought that cartoned milk or boxed milk was worse, so I didn't
agree with
really...
that. There's
mess
a paper.
anything else.
Water is better.
There's a paper taste, and they tell you there ain't. There is.
There's a taste for everything, like aluminum. I can't... I don't really like aluminum canned drinks for that reason.
I have to pour a can into a glass whenever available, because I have like memories of drinking a soda when you're like 10 years old on summer vacation, and then you're like, ooh, I need a nice refreshing drink, and you pick it up and it's cooked in the sun and it's like molten hot, you know, orange crunch or something like that. It's the worst.
That sounds
That
awful.
is true. Yeah, I prefer like if I it doesn't really not very like a usual thing, but like the glass bottles for soda.
Yeah.
Those are always
Glass
the best.
It's pretty inert.
Yeah, it's not going to
Agent
spread
area.
its filth everywhere.
Thank you for this as well, and bad forward. There's no goddamn taste. It's in your head. No, there's a
There's a
paper
taste.
taste.
Taste for sure.
There's a
Oh, yeah.
paper and an aluminum taste.
I don't know if there's a paper taste that I noticed, but there's definitely aluminum.
Are you kidding me? You drink?
I just don't know.
No, you know when you get those, like, because I have consumed milk in my life, so don't think that I've never consumed milk. You get like those milk cartons when you're in elementary school.
Yeah. Ugh.
I think it's when the milk like filters over the glue from the carton. It takes
Yeah.
on a taste that I don't think is unsafe, but may well be unsavory.
I had to go with the chocolate because the regular one made me want to gag every time. I needed like some kind of sugary something to cover it up.
Maybe I actually would have liked milk. I just don't like the taste of glue.
That could be it.
It's more textural than taste for me. Like when you open those cartons, you get the little bit that's sort of like the fuzzy edges of the paper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think maybe your flavor issue is coming from. It's like the most exposed paper surface area or something. What the hell are we talking about?
Soda cans are better than glass bottles? No, dog. I'm very passionate about packaging. I think it's important. Here's
I
the
am
thing,
too,
though.
actually.
Joe,
Here's the thing.
for the
No,
17
these,
months
like,
in a
craft
row,
soda
man.
companies that are making,
Oh, you guys
like,
are incredible.
Genuine root beer, ginger beer, you know, real cane sugar. They're putting it in glass bottles to justify charging you like $2.50 a soda.
They look
you know?
classier too. They
Exactly.
sit nicer on the shelves.
If you put that shit in a can, people will be like, $2.50 for a root beer? I don't think so. You put it in a glass bottle, they're like, it's got some old-timey charm. All right, I'll take 12.
That's how you build a brand. You want to look a certain way.
It's
I was
all branding.
When I was a kid, instead of selling lemonade, we would go grab a bunch of 6-packs of the Coke in bottles, and we'd sit out and sell them for $2 a piece instead of $1.
This is the definition. Don't take this the wrong way, Cobalt. It's gonna sound like I mean this in the most offensive way. That is a leech on society.
Oh, I was like 12.
It's like the wee gray market.
It's like flipping a house. Like you've provided. You've taken value out of society and turned it into profit for yourself.
I have convenience, man. It's all about convenience. You don't have to even leave your apartment complex, you know, to get a nice, fresh glass Coke. Can't find those
Actually,
anywhere except for the store.
I didn't do this, but just a friend of mine. No, but there is a small town near where I grew up, and outside of the convenience store, people would just sell like ice cold Kool-Aid. And I was like, first off, good on the convenience store for not being like, hey, you fucking 12-year-olds, shove off. We sell drinks in the store.
Yeah,
which is
and
what I
actual
probably would've done.
Kool-Aid as well.
Exactly. But then I was thinking, like, these fuckers are literally, like, here's my pretense. If I go to like a lemonade stand at the side of the road, I'm expecting that they took lemons and sugar and water and created some lemonade. I'm not expecting it to be good. It's more of like a nice gesture of like, oh, this kid's like, you know, they've got ambition. I'll help them out, give them some pocket money, right? What I'm not expecting is they're taking a pitcher of Minute Maid lemonade, pouring it into a glass pitcher, and then selling it at $1 a bottle here. Come on.
Of course.
That's
So they do these
almost,
days.
It's implicitly misleading, in my opinion. Anyway.
It's also entrepreneurship.
The kids are selling sugary liquid. I mean,
They're learning about money.
If an adult did it, and you know, they're like, hey, check out our craft soda, we brew it in-house, and they just poured a Pepsi into like a pint glass.
we just wanted Blockbuster money, okay? Blockbuster rentals.
Are lemonade stands that much of an occurrence in North America? To be fair, I don't think I've actually ever seen it. Well,
in
not
neighborhoods.
Sounds like 10.
In like nice neighborhoods, you'll have the kids that'll set up like a little lemonade stand in the summertime. I've had it in my old neighborhood. I've had it in this neighborhood. I've seen them like driving to different places. It happens more than you'd think.
I've seen parents that own a shop in town and they'll let somebody, you know, set up in front. Because it's just like, it's a fun thing for the kid to do and they make a few dollars.
In small towns.
Yeah, I'm talking small towns.
Yeah, I've seen it. Nowadays, though, you know, everybody's like, oh, you know, child abductions. Everyone's like, don't take my kid away from me, oh.
Well, if you're on the sidewalk in, like, your neighborhood, you know, it's not too bad. As long as you have a neighborhood with, like, some traffic. Like, in my neighborhood in Tennessee, there's people out walking their dogs, mowing their lawns, socializing, doing garden work, all that crap.
People are very paranoid these days, though.
It's like Pleasantville. People are paranoid. Do we think it's because, like, there's so much fear-mongering and stuff that, like, it's actually more safe than we think it is, and the government is just trying to get us to stay in our houses so we're less connected to one another?
I don't know.
So we can't rise up against them if there's things we don't like?
I think there's a kernel of truth to that, but I think you phrased it in a little bit of an inflammatory way, perhaps. I don't know that it's necessarily a conspiracy, but many things have added up to lead to that, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, back in the old days, if a kid gets kidnapped in, like, fucking, you know, Belarus, and you lived in Missouri, you'd never hear about it. But now it's like, instantly, you're like, check out this fucked up shit that happened in Belarus.
Yeah.
Humans are all evil, man. And then, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that that's the only part of the issue here, but
I just think people are way more disconnected from one another. Like, back in the old day, everybody would know, like, every neighbor they had. And you can go, like, 5 years without talking to your neighbor now, you know?
And then
like,
if somebody abducted your kid, you'd be like definitely Jerry.
Fucking neighbor, man. I see the way he looks over me at the fence. You know, the way he's whacking his weeds over there. It's very...
Oh, come on, Jerry, don't do that.
People in chat are like, in Europe, you can't have a kid's lemonade stand because they need to have health permits to sell food. And you know what?
Probably do here too.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's gonna stop a 10-year-old?
I'm for it, man. You know, everyone wants their kids to have this entrepreneurial spirit, but then you'd be like, oh, I got food poisoning. Where did I get it from? Probably the 10-year-olds selling you drinks on the side of the road. You know, taking a shit, not washing their hands, and then stirring the lemonade with their fingers.
Oh,
and then licking them.
man.
That's real nasty.
Now I'm never going to be nice to a child selling lemonade again. Fuck.
No child lemonade.
That's not to say I haven't gone to a probably gray market lemonade stand. Sometimes the danger just makes it taste better. I mean, it's not really...
I said it earlier, but it's like hearing you say it back is just hilarious.
I really like the term gray market. It's basically like,
it's
illegal-ish.
Yeah.